And we are live. Of course, the stream will start in just a moment. Welcome.
Welcome, all you creepy creatures.
Oh my god, I love it when you say that. What was I doing? Okay, right. Here we go.
Sorry, don't mean to distract you.
No, it's all right. It's what's cool and fun about streams. Am I right?
Oh yeah, I suppose. At least the second stream in, I can at least get my mic to be out of the correct source. Auntie Kat is not that, technically savvy.
This is the fun of it all. You know what I mean?
Making you late?
No, that's very funny.
I'll try to find the fun in it.
No, but everyone has technical difficulties. Everyone has issues.
My life has technical difficulties.
It's basically living in that meme where the guy's like sitting in a house and like the house is on fire and he's like, "This is all right." That is exactly what the streaming life is.
Right. Everything's all right. It's okay.
And I honestly think that somebody must have mental problems if they don't have problems, technical difficulties streaming. You know, that's just.
I'll accept the mental problems. I don't need to like have things fall apart for at least me to accept that.
Well, trust me, life is completely uncontrollable, unpredictable. This is what the world is.
Absolutely.
We just need to accept it.
Now, if it didn't fall apart, then it wouldn't be interesting.
Exactly. Who wants to live in a world like that? My creepy creatures.
All you creepy creatures.
Is this music too boring?
No, I actually enjoy it. Here, I'm going to grab something real quick.
Oh, yeah, go. We got a couple of minutes before we officially start.
Better.
Awesome.
I like this.
Yeah? You like the haunted lo-fi?
Is that what it is? No,
or just the awkward silence between us while we wait for the stream to start?
Well, anything awkward is wonderful.
Oh, right. It's my favorite.
Better. Now I just need to find the matches set in the ambiance. Not so much a burning house, even though.
Oh, I thought that's where you're going with that. I was like, please don't
arson.
On my stream.
Let's start the stream out with arson.
Although it would certainly be interesting. It would certainly get clicks, right? It's good clickbait. There you go.
You know what? I'm so glad we have Google. I can always Google, and the fucking government's going to hunt me down. As fun as that sounds. How long does it take for a house to fully burn down? How long will the stream last?
Oh my God. If there's any way to go, I know this is morbid and insane that we're discussing this, but if there's any way to go out,
Yes.
that's the way to do it, right?
Perfect. Yep.
In a flaming building while the government surrounds you while on live stream.
Oh, sounds wonderful.
Yeah,
I'm in.
There's no way I just finished my rounds. Yeah, it looks like it. Let's see what's going on. We've got some people up in here. Matt Cat, Rogue Radio, Logie Bear, Gray Winthrop, all welcome.
Mayday! Come in! If anyone can hear me, my starship has been pulled into the anomaly. I find myself in a strange new world. It is a world with no sun, no stars. It is a world of anime. Comics. Here we go! Gaming. Movie. This world is the Rogue Planets. With your host, the Fat Mantis HD.
Hello. Welcome to Rogue Planet. I am your host, the Fat Mantis, now in HD. And we are doing a very special Wednesday, that's right, as in Wednesday Addams, live stream. I hope you're all having a great week. I hope you're all surviving this crazy Kanye madness that seems to be dominating the headlines and the internet. Is there anything else to talk about? Let's talk about Netflix. That's what I'm all about. I was blown away when I saw this, but you're going to get the full review, my actual thoughts on every little thing and detail about Wednesday here. And today I have a very special guest. You saw her, of course, on my Halloween stream. She is the one, the only, the internet's greatest horror hostess, Auntie Kat. Hello, Auntie Kat. Oh my God. Did I do a close-up? Sorry. Hello, Auntie Kat. How are you?
Awful. Perfectly wretched. Thank you for asking.
Welcome to Rogue Planet.
I am thrilled to be here.
Honestly, thank you for stopping into this show. It is always a pleasure to have you.
Oh, pleasure's all yours.
Yes, it is. SMH, welcome in. How are you? Question marks, SMH. We have no idea what you're talking about. Logie Bear says, is this going to be full of spoilers? We'll let you know when the spoilers come. We're going to first just talk about it.
Why haven't you watched it? That's the real question.
That is the real question.
I don't watch shows, and I watched this one.
Actually, that is true. I ask you, I'm always like, what did you think of blah, blah, blah? And you're like, what is that? What's this Netflix thing? And I'm like, oh, God.
Right.
Gray says, hi, Auntie Kat. Shell and Iceboxer says, oh, shoot, it's Auntie Kat. Hail to Matt Cat, says Rogue Radio. Welcome in, guys. Matt Cat says, are you dressed as Uncle Fester tonight, Fat Mantis? I'm always dressed as Uncle Fester since the character is based off of me. Before we get any further into it, we would love it if you like this video, subscribe to this channel, keep tuning into Voice of the Fat Mantis, especially Rogue Planet, as we discuss all the nerd news that's fit to print. My first question for you, Auntie Kat. Tim Burton, what do you think of the dude?
Creepy.
He's
Amazing.
creepy. That's
Talented. Has a thing against people blinking. So it has an affinity for the dead. No, period. He really enjoys it when people in movies, from my understanding, don't blink.
Do other people not? Because let me say, Jenna Ortega, the actress who did this, Trisha, welcome in. I love her voice, she says. And she loves yours. Yeah,
I'll take
Jenna
it. It's
Ortega,
fine.
amazing actress, but he wouldn't let her blink. It was the thing that she found most annoying about filming this.
I think that's the one thing that I didn't notice, but didn't quite grasp was I love how eerily she stares at. It's because she didn't blink.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean,
admire her that much more.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. Matt Cat says you should have dressed this Wednesday, Auntie Kat. That would have been funny if I was Fester and you were Wednesday.
I know that's what's like. Freaking should have. Here's the thing. I woke up right before I came on.
I wasn't going to tell them. I was thinking that. I was like, little did they know, she just woke up.
I'm very ill prepared. Have at me.
No, all we needed to hear is your horror expertise to analyze this show.
Oh, well, I know everything horrible. I love it.
Logie Bear says Tim Burton is the freaking man.
He is. Is he married? Hold on. Google.
Oh yeah. You want me to Google it, or you got this?
I got this. This is personal.
Says, well, it's her own fault. She did a take without blinking, and Tim Burton loved it so much that he decided to make that part of her character. It's actually perfect. And you know what it is? I have the sneaking suspicion, and don't worry, I think she's like 20, so she's 20 years old, so it's all right that he has these feelings. I feel after watching this series that Tim Burton has like a crush on her, or she's like some sort of muse for him, because I've never seen a production that has so many close-up shots. Half of the show is literally her just staring into the camera.
Isn't it creepy? I love it.
It's creepy, but I feel like I understand the intimate layout of her face. And I feel like a director themselves would not want to look through the camera, have their DP working on it, and have to sit in an editing bay staring at a single actor's face.
Right.
That would annoy me. Right?
I don't think he's married.
I think it is my sneaking suspicion that he fell in love with her while filming this movie.
But she's so young. She's not.
Well, I mean, I'm saying.
Yet.
I mean, I didn't say he made a move. I'm saying he just had it's like.
I mean, there's always something that appeals when they're innocent, but I like it when they're older.
Logie Bear says he is married. Helena Bonham Carter, which I did not know that, and she is also someone who has appeared in his movies. They probably met on set.
It says that they're married 2001 to 2014.
Oh,
unless Wikipedia lied to me.
But do you notice what I'm implying right now? This is the whole muse concept.
Right.
You know who Mike Flanagan?
Heard the name.
So he's a horror director. He's like, in my opinion, like one of the best newer horror directors right now. He used to do schlock like Oculus or whatever, or Ouija board, The Origin of Evil, which was just a crap movie, right? But he moved on to like bigger and better things. So he does The Haunting of Bly Manor, The Haunting of Hill House. He did
right. That's why that's where I've heard him.
Yeah. And so here's the funny thing is that like he's been married twice. He met both of his wives as actresses on his films.
Hasn't Tim Burton? It says he was married twice.
Oh, I don't know who his first wife was.
You know what they say, third time's a charm.
Yes. I wish you luck on your chance to bag him on together.
Oh no, I don't wish to be married again.
Well, I mean, you guys could live in sin, right?
I always live in sin.
Rogue Radio says Auntie Kat would do good as a Tim Burton character.
Oh, you flatter me.
So I didn't realize that him and Helena Bonham Carter were over so long ago. 2014 is a very long time ago.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, flattery will get you everywhere.
Right. He loves the silent clown vibe. Jenna Ortega is really cute. I didn't realize how beautiful she was until this production. And like I said, if you haven't finished the series, you're about to rewatch it. Notice how many close-ups he does. Literally, it feels like 50% of the production is him just doing it. He's like, let's do a close-up of her. Let's have her stare into the camera, which is eerie too, right?
Well, people hate eye contact naturally, especially when they're faced with someone that makes them uncomfortable.
It's super creepy.
I think it's personal.
Wait, maybe yes, Logie Bear. Where you been, man? We just said that they got divorced. They got divorced in
Guess they got
2014.
divorced. Stop it, sure.
But okay, what other works do you like of Tim Burton? Let's make sure our audience knows who this Tim Burton fellow is. This weird random director.
Lisa Marie. I remember. No, it's all right. I mean, like, if I was ever to become a widow twice removed,
what is twice removed in widowhood?
Maybe they're not completely dead. You don't finish the job.
They're in a coma or they're in someone's basement locked up.
Right.
Do you watch the show You? That's another Netflix gem.
Maybe. I watched the first season. I like the first season.
So you're saying if you're widowed in the sense that they're locked in a unbreakable glass cage in someone's basement.
There's everything has exceptions and situations are a thing, and lets people who are quite sadistic have a lot of creative will.
Right.
Especially when they take others away.
Angel Age, welcome in.
Hey.
Actually, people like the Addams Family. We're going to discuss the origin of the Addams Family in just a sec. But like people like the Addams Family, people who are natural sociopaths in this day and age, they might actually have an evolutionary advantage to other people. Because they're willing to make people disappear. They're willing to kill or maim or whatever for their own benefit, right?
Yeah, and me and Gray, we probably know how.
Yes.
Probably.
Yeah. I've always thought that you were just too sweet to be an Addams Family member, but
they need an Auntie Kat.
They do need an Auntie Kat. Burton was that was more of the talk about getting everyone wants to get with this guy. Logie Bear says he really likes his characters to communicate with their eyes like Edward Scissorhands. That's very true. So he's done he's done so much. I feel like I can't even list everything that he's done. But you know what's interesting is he wouldn't have been able to do this if he wasn't disgusted with. This is funny that I say this, mainstream cinema. So
Which is honestly, that is like the main basis of goth. It's just like against anything that is like mainstream contemporary. Like
it's what's so strange about it is corporates like Suits have been messing with his vision for years, like since he did Batman movies. They wouldn't let him make his Batman movies the way he wanted. There's just a long history of it, and yet he's put up with it his entire life. And finally, after doing Dumbo for Disney, he was just sick of Disney, and he has publicly said he will never work for such a big company again because all they do is destroy originality. And they wanted him to do a carbon copy of the cartoon and not put any interesting takes on it.
Why would they hire him then? That is like his whole spiel.
His name. They want his name because he's such a big name. Which is funny. You'd think somebody with such a big name, you'd let him do whatever he wanted, right?
Well, and it depends on who you ask. I know plenty of people that let him do whatever he wants, but
Sheldon Icewatcher says, I literally just got a Twitch ad watching you where Wednesday literally stares into the camera quietly for 30 seconds. Yeah, you're doing it. Auntie Kat's doing it. Ed Wood, he's done a lot. He's just done so much. It's pretty crazy. He's just iconic in gothic horror and stuff like that. And just morbid stuff, right? Lisa Marie
put all this stuff up for auction, and I didn't know. That's the whole reason why I want to live in a museum. I want to be the spinster out in the forest where someone has to call my kids, and everyone has their numbers, and they'll be like, "Hey, your mom got out again." And I'm just, across the neighborhood. People out.
You just described like a witch or something. Like you're the witch of the town. Or something.
It depends on who you ask.
What up? Logie says, never underestimate the value of making other people uncomfortable. I mean, definitely.
It's a hobby of mine for sure. Oh, it's beautiful seeing people's reactions, not giving, well, how PG is this stream?
Oh, yeah. And Matt actually says he's correcting his thing. I'm not going to read his first mistake, but he said, I would not F Tim Burton. That man is very unfortunate looking. Yes, he has that look. A lot of directors, if you ever notice, directors tend to be ugly.
Oh, it's on the inside.
Like John Waters, Quentin Tarantino, a bunch of these guys, they all look like they're birth defects or something.
Hey, like I said, it's all what's on the inside.
That's why they
You
become
know,
directors.
organs sell for a lot, especially if they're famous.
Logie says once he got in bed with Disney, his films struggled. Absolutely. But I think throughout his entire life, they've always been messing with him. He's finally done. He says he's done with the mainstream. And what does he do? He goes and he works for Netflix. And what it is I think a lot of people don't realize how mainstream Netflix is. Like mainstream Hollywood hates Netflix because they're disruptors.
Well, that's how they even got their position in the first place.
Yeah.
Netflix at first, I think they offered like a deal to Blockbuster, and Blockbuster scoffed at them.
Yeah, this
And
was in
then,
the early days when they were still mailing stuff. They
right?
wanted
I
to sell the
remember
idea to Blockbuster, and Blockbuster laughed at them.
Yep, and then they pretty much said, "Watch this," and then Blockbuster went under, and now everyone's streaming.
And now we watch comedies about how silly Blockbuster was when it was open.
Now just this like what is it? They have a Blockbuster. One Blockbuster is up, and you can rent the place for nostalgia purposes.
Yes, you can. It's an Airbnb. Yes, the last
80s
existing
themed.
Blockbuster. Yes, you can feel what it's like to sleep in a Blockbuster for an Airbnb. They still rent movies. They have all different ways to make money off of it and keep it going. Shaolin says, I could see Kat as Morticia's fun sister who occasionally comes by and brings gifts for Wednesday and Pugsley.
I make the best gifts.
You also make the best auntie, right? And actually, I'm gonna tell you this right now. I have had a fantasy love affair with your cooking for the last 2 years.
You know what? There's 2 places in my little town that actually wants me to sell them my baked goods.
I remember, not this Thanksgiving, but last Thanksgiving, we called each other in the morning, and you were describing what you were baking and cooking for the day, and I was literally about to leave my brothers and get in a car and just drive to Arizona, man.
It's all gone.
Well, I assume by now it's eaten up, but Gray says, fun fact, Logie, Tim Burton started his career working for Disney as an Imagineer, working on ride ideas for Disney parks. His stuff was considered too out there for them.
But those are the best thoughts. It's how I come up with all my weird flavors.
Mad Cat says, for real, has Auntie Kat ever tried to do voiceover work?
I have. You want to pay me?
Absolutely. When I finally produce a cartoon, you're going to be a character on there.
Am I going to be Auntie Kat?
Well, that's your character. I can't, unless you want to make a cartoon together.
Sure. Sure. Why not? Life's too short. Let's exploit this.
Yeah, right. Matt says, I used to love Blockbuster. So many good memories. Yeah, I remember Fridays after work. Me and my friends would meet up at the Blockbuster. What are we watching tonight? And you hang out for like 2 hours walking around.
Right.
Take every movie you think you're going to take, and then you guys negotiate which ones you're going to rent for the weekend, right?
See, in my small town, we had, what was it? An old sawmill for the theater. Very haunted, but not that far from it. Nothing is far from each other here. The Blockbuster it turned into a Verizon store. But I remember the 80s carpet.
Oh, I loved everything about the smell of the Blockbuster. I can remember the smell of the Blockbuster. It was sterile like a hospital, right?
It smelled like film.
Yeah, it was like, this is where a film geek would hang out. It
like
makes
cassettes and plastic from the CD cases that they put them in.
But I gotta say that okay, so let me ask you. You are a horror aficionado, are you not?
No, they've always kind of been dark and creepy.
So what's your relationship with the Addams Family? And if you had to choose Munsters or Addams Family, which one is it going to be?
I love both. But the Addams Family is a lot closer to my heart.
I think I'm going with Addams Family too. I don't know many people that would pick Munsters,
And I love their love. See, here's the thing about Auntie Kat. I love love. I love watching people be in love. I love people who actually care about each other, work with one another, and they don't have the typical relationship. Of course not. They're the Addams. He technically in the show back decades ago took on her last name, so he was Frump and she was Addams.
Wait, what?
Yes. Yeah,
I
in
did
the
not
original
know that.
black and white show,
Yeah.
he took on her last name. He let her have a financial say so in the relationship, which was very against the norm back then. It was their relationship was so opposite, and weirdly
What a
enough,
beta.
now, oh,
I'm kidding. I'm sorry. That was a mean joke. That was a mean joke. So yes, that is a cool aspect that he's like this. They're morbid people and they're gross. But one of the things is he has a great passion for his wife, right?
yes, anything with that much passion is bound to flourish.
Yeah, no, it's really great. I don't have much love for the Munsters. I guess I don't hate them. Matt says, "Who's your favorite Addams Family member?"
Oh, it.
Um, cousin it, right? Cousin it's the furry
No,
thing.
no. Well, I
Or
mean,
is it
like,
thing?
I don't want hair all over the house. Thing.
Yeah, thing, the hen dude.
You can hide them.
Yeah, right. Huh.
He's very helpful.
See, like, yo, I feel like more. Remember, this is an all ages stream, so yeah.
No, not even in that aspect. I mean, probably. I don't know.
I think Morticia, but I think I've always had like a crush on Morticia. I feel like she's my type of lady. You know what I mean?
She has such a an aura about her. It makes you want to submit, don't it?
Yep. I'd be all about that. I can understand where Gomez gets his passion. So he wasn't in Addams. That's crazy. And actually, this series they undo that because they make him and Fester Addams, and they give her a name. I think her last name is like Bland. When she's going, there's a flashback when they're back at school, and her name is Morticia. I think Bland or
Right. So I remember that episode, and then it goes back. She's Frump. I think it's Frump.
Frump. That's it.
Yeah. When you said Bland, I'm like, oh, am I wrong? I
No,
question
I
myself.
just remember because they don't make a big deal about it. They say it in passing.
They do. They gave him the last name, but I think in the comic, I'm not entirely sure. I remember the show because I remember the show. I watched the show where they met each other. At Gomez was very sickly, and he was supposed to be with Morticia's sister. The parents were setting them up.
Right.
Mhm.
So I'm actually less familiar with the show and more familiar with the comic book. Not the comic book, but the the New Yorker. Because I actually bought a collection. I actually have a collection
Do
of like
share.
the old ones, of like the really old ones from back in the day. Of the Addams Family, and they weren't like full comic strips. They were just single drawings every week or whatever. The New Yorker would have a single drawing panel about the Addams Family.
Mm.
And then them grew, it's almost like, what was it, Far Side or something like that, like grossing people out or something. And it was a good time. Greetings, Hold Up TV, welcome. Logie Beer says, yay, my extendable urine container arrived.
What?
I can't even right now. I don't even know what that is. Logie Bear says Munsters hands down.
Well, the Munsters was great. Oh, Rob Zombie's Munsters.
I hear horrible things about it. I hear nothing but horrible things.
It was actually, I love the colors. It reminded me of a different movie. I'm awful with names. Why'd you bring me here?
Well, you just woke up. You're usually way better when you've slept. We should have gotten you at least a cup of coffee or something. If we were in the same studio, I would have been forcing coffees down your throat before we start.
Well,
Matt says, Kat, I love also. You are speaking my language. So, Kat, you consider yourself a romantic?
Here's the thing. When it comes to me personally, my own experiences, I'm quite awkward and I don't trust things. But I love watching other people experience it. I love reading. And so I love reading about all the different kind of love tropes and everyone's weird experiences in different ways. Those can like come against the status quo and be together and happy, make it work, actually care about each other. I like watching it. I don't trust it. It makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah,
So
don't you think that what you're really watching are two people who are like emotionally trapped in a lie that's going to lead, like they're mesmerized, and it's going to lead them off a cliff.
oh, my trauma doesn't go that far.
Oh, okay, mine.
But
So when I see people who are desperately in love, I'm like, you sucker.
no, I like it. It's like I hope that lasts for you. But then again, if someone it actually comes up to me with some sort of proposition, like, what's the catch?
Oh yeah, what's the catch? I've definitely said that one. But our positions in love is not the main point of this. Yeah, The Munsters is awesome. Rob Zombie's movie was terrible. Where did everyone see it? I don't understand how everyone has seen it but me. I'm so morbidly curious. Pun
How
intended.
can you say you don't like it if you haven't seen it?
Well, no, I said I heard horrible things about Munsters.
Oh, you like it.
Everyone has universally hated it, and I don't know where I can see it. Like, what is it on? Like, he
The
bummed me
Monsters
out.
came out, and it was better than something else, and I forgot what it was.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, The Munsters is awesome. Rob Zombie's movie was terrible. He bummed me out. I thought he would knock it out of the park because he's such a huge fan, myself as well, and he effed it all up. Yeah.
It depends. It depends on who you ask. It definitely was a lot. It was different than I thought, but then again, that's because it came out of his artistic view. Lots of colors. Weirdly enough, it's like black and white with lots of colors in the background.
That sounds like he's having a seizure or something.
It is very visually stimulating in a very different way. He makes it work.
Shaolin says my trauma does. Great metaphor, Mantis. Thank you so much. You're the catch, says Kat. This is Matt.
Only if you catch me. By the way, I have claws. If you catch me, that's fine. It just might hurt.
Angeline says, against all odds and hardships and the trauma, I absolutely loving reading all the types of love tropes as well, Auntie Kat.
Right. I love love. I don't want it.
The Munsters is on Netflix.
It.
How is it? I can't believe that the algorithm didn't say check this movie out or something to me.
I like it.
But resistance to love is actually a major theme of the show. So getting into the show, we've talked about enough backstory of it all and where it all originates. What are your favorite things about this show?
I love one thing. Okay. I love her style. They put bangs on her. I'm like, ooh, fit your face well. But and they have her have freckles, which is very against her because she's supposed to be very dead and whatnot. But they have that there because of they actually go into her background, where she's from, her ethnicity, things like that.
Well, does the actress have them, and they're naturally on the actress, or they put them there?
They look natural. You're close enough to her face the whole time.
Right. They look natural.
I've not actually focused on it, so I don't know if a freckle's in the same spot each time I look.
So what were you saying the backstory of that is?
Oh, I love that they actually kind of like embrace and show a lot of pride in her Spanish history.
Right. Absolutely. And I love that they definitely, it is cool that they definitely hunker down on the fact that no, Gomez isn't just named Gomez. He's Latino.
Yeah.
I just wish that they had cast Fester as a Latino as well. Like I don't.
Oh, you can have different parents.
I mean, yeah. I mean, he could be Latino and just see more white, but it's neither here nor there. This series really surprised me. And so obviously it's more about Wednesday being named Wednesday. It's not just your typical Addams Family.
She wasn't even born on a Wednesday.
She wasn't born on a Wednesday. She was born on a Friday the 13th.
Mm-hmm.
But so the Nevermore Academy for the outcasts is basically Xavier School, right? For goths.
Right, except for they're not goth. It's for outcasts. But let me just say, there's so many different kinds of outcasts. There's people, this one goes for people that can't help the way they're born, and Wednesday is the outcast among those outcasts because she embraces and loves the way she's born, like who she is. Probably not where she's born from. She fights. She's a teenager. Okay, every teenager fights that, but she's herself, and there's no changing that.
He says, "Isn't Fred Armisen Hispanic?" I didn't know that. If he is, I had no idea that was true. So, yeah, I mean, it's true. It's true. You're saying she's the only one who accepts the that
She's
she
the
is
weirdo and weirdos, and I love it.
she's essentially a creature of the night. And then it's funny, the creatures who are more creatures of the night don't accept that they're creatures of the night. Like the vampires and the werewolves are hanging out and playing hacky sack and acting like hippies.
Like they can't help where they were born. No one can, and it seems like they're kind of fighting it. Like they're there, and they're not there because they want to be. They're there because they have no real other place to go. The school is for misfits. It's for people who are born with certain abilities, whether they're like lichens or vampires or sirens. That's what they're born in. They're trying to be normal in their own environment. And Wednesday comes in, and she comes in like a black flaming glory, and she's like, yeah, no.
So I saw one criticism I saw of somebody was that they said on their YouTube channel, they were like, she's a sociopath, but for some reason wants to solve crimes about murder and save the people. And I'm like saying, like, I think her character makes complete sense because I think the goth or the Darias of the world, the bitter chicks or guys or bitter guys, are always just putting on an act. Obviously, Wednesday is capable of love. She loves her family, right?
You're capable of love even if you're bitter. And the thing is, you can have, like, Wednesday has a deliciously dark outer shell, and she has a front because, they ran over her scorpion. She loved that thing.
Oh my God, that traumatized me. That absolutely
traumatized her too.
I did not. I was like, no, they're not gonna show that. They actually showed that.
Yep. And so
that thing was cute.
It was, and it wasn't doing nothing wrong. Well, so she loved that thing, and she made sure. She even mentioned, "That's the last time I'm going to cry." It's not that she doesn't care for people. It's she just finds it a little bit harder to actually let people in. But the ones that do end up creeping into her heart, she cares for and will do anything for, just like anyone.
I gotta say, I really enjoyed how she got kicked out of her normal high school.
Well, we all have those stories.
Those jocks had it coming. I love that. I absolutely love what she did.
With the 3 high schools, personally?
The question is, why didn't they send her directly to Nevermore? Why did they bother with normal people's schools?
They're very against the status quo. Like we've mentioned so many times before. They probably gave her a choice.
Or maybe they secretly want normalcy for her.
And maybe they picked places that were closer. They do have to kind of drop her off. So maybe they just, they let her have a choice. They didn't really go into that, did they?
No, but I'm sure, this thing is so popular. I'm sure it's getting more seasons, and I can't wait to see more of
I'm excited.
Who she is and whatever. I'm actually hoping to see more flashbacks of the parents. I love the actors they got to play the young parents.
I do too.
I wouldn't mind a spin-off of just seeing them young and in love.
Right. A prequel.
A prequel, if you will. Angel H says, wonderful, exciting, interesting, real, different, aka weird.
Oh, weird's the best. I tell people all the time, I have children in the local middle school, elementary school, actually different. I watch lots of kids. I'm auntie. And they constantly go around and they actually boast about being weird.
So, Nigel, this is Auntie Kat. She's a horror hostess on the internet. She does a lot of work on TikTok, the TikTok.
I just started work on TikTok. I have to get ready for it. It's so visual. I'm more for vocal. I'll hide behind the microphone.
I'm still trying to find that perfect audio app that we dream of.
Let's make it.
Okay. So wait, hold on. In the most yes, we should. When I hit Powerball, I'm making the ultimate audio app. But Matt says, in the cruelest thing I've ever heard a human ever put on in one of my chats, F that scorpion.
No, Scorpion will F you.
What did that scorpion do to you, bro?
Did nothing. Scorpion did absolutely nothing. When was the last time you were attacked by an alligator? You gonna attack all alligators? They didn't do nothing to you.
Yeah, although I don't like sharks for no good reason. So, like,
I have
sharks never
nothing
attacked
against
me, but I
them.
wouldn't mind killing them all.
Oh god. See, if anything, go for like hippos or something. Jeez.
Why? The hippos are adorable. Have you ever seen that video where they're feeding it pumpkins and stuff?
Have you ever had a nightmare of hippos?
Do you have nightmares about hippos?
Yes. They're worth having nightmares against. They kill more people than sharks.
They're monsters. They're literal monsters. And
They're
their mouth can
giant.
just crush anything. It could
Yeah.
probably rip open a car door.
And they can run really fast. They're on land
But
and
they're cute
they're in
and
the
fat.
water. No.
Uh,
You're bite-sized. How are you not afraid of hippos yet? A shark like the size of your body scares you. I might lose a leg or something, but I'm gonna get something really cool like fake appendage. There's gonna be so many hidden snacks in here.
it's my hatred for sharks is actually well documented. It's actually something that makes up my character. Most people who know me well enough are like, this dude hates sharks. F those guys. A shark. Long story short, and a shark gave me a dirty look when I was a kid, and I saw into its eyes, and I saw the evil that it was, and I said, never again.
I'm actually quite confident if I'm around a shark that's at least a decent size. The really, really large, like great white ones, like, okay, this is my death. Take me. But if anything, decent sized, like a little bit bigger than me or less, I'm pretty sure I could handle the situation well, and at least come out relatively whole. Things I don't like barracudas.
I mean, I would go out fighting these creatures, no matter what. I don't care how big it is.
I always come across the weirdest things. It's always been in my life. It surrounds me.
Angel H has
made me.
You mean the darkness made you? Angel H says, create the ideal audio app ever. Absolutely,
please do. But a fun fact: I went scuba diving in Hawaii as a teenager, and I have piercings. A lot of them are underclothes, but so bathing suits showed a lot.
Right.
Yeah, and I did not know that they like shiny things.
Oh, see,
I'm scuba diving, and the instructor's like, "Hey, there's barracudas. We need to go up." So we did, and he's like, "Yeah, I mean, just so you know, you're not supposed to really have shiny jewelry." I'm like, I did not.
Or they will follow you and eat you alive.
I didn't know I was a lure.
Scene of Wednesday all over again.
Right.
Oh, they can't swim though. Who are we talking about? Oh yeah, and Nigel Trotter says she's the Warriors radio voice Dreamcast is what she is. You know the Warriors, the movie The Warriors?
No.
The Warriors is about a gang in the late 70s in New York. And they're Native American themed, so they all are dressed up like Native Americans, and they go to a gang meeting in the Bronx, and then they get framed for murder, and they have to make it from the Bronx all the way to Coney Island on the train, and they go around fighting other gangs. It's literally an old school classic movie. It's amazing.
Sounds interesting.
It's so great, and it's narrated by a woman who's doing a radio cast about the Warriors. And you sound like her, and I didn't realize this until Nigel just said something.
Maybe that's why you like me.
Okay, so Matt says, I have to be honest, this show has good moments, but it's just another old IP become wokenized. I do not know that. I do not understand how people could say this. And so I would like to see what it is. Just like Sabrina and trash like that. I mean, to resume just another bitch boss series to please a lousy woke minority for no reason. 5 out of 10, mediocre at best. I totally disagree. I think it's Buffy for a new age.
See, the film will always change according to the audience and how people are socially at that time. Sabrina has very much so shown that. Wednesday Addams, though, she's been the same. So if you say that she's woke, apparently that was very taboo back then.
Well, the thing is, what
Still
are
is,
they saying?
actually.
Any story that features a woman protagonist is woke. I reject that immediately. We have to
I'm
be able to have
relatively
stories like
well.
that, right?
I'm relatively well educated, and I have plenty of trauma to feed into a lot of behaviors. A lot of them,
You're saying you make a good main character for a Netflix series, is what you're saying.
It depends on who you ask. There's obviously people that don't like certain shows, so
Yeah, I just think that just because there's a female who's the main character, it's not the same thing as like the boss bitch thing that Matt is saying, because the boss bitch thing is like, it's a woman like like Rey from Star Wars, from the recent Star Wars, where she can do no wrong. She's stronger and better than everyone, including Luke Skywalker. Like that kind of Mary Sue shit. And this, trust me, Wednesday and this is not a Mary Sue. She messes up all the time.
oh, she does. She gets her ass kicked all the time, and then she's like,
in the final battle, at the end, toward the end, she keeps confronting things that she has no way of fighting and gets her ass kicked.
That's one of the first things I noticed. They don't put her in this untouchable light. Okay, she gets hurt. She actually like gave up a fight when she was fencing with them, and then she got hurt in return. She's not perfect.
You know what the biggest one is that I love? And this is a spoiler for the end of the series, like the last couple of episodes. So if you guys want to shut it off real quick, and I'll put a thumbs up when I'm done spoiling.
I am trying so hard not to give spoilers.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do some spoilers. But okay, spoiler begins. So she falsely accuses multiple people of being the monster, to the point where one kid even gets arrested.
Here's the thing. I do it all the time. I love mysteries. Because the whole time I'm over here folding laundry to this, because that's the only way I have a guilty conscience. It's the only way I feel okay about watching something, which is why I don't watch a lot of shows. Because if I'm not doing something, I feel bad. Which is why I'm quite crafty. I make lots of things. So I'm sitting folding laundry while watching the show. And I forgot where I was going with this. And so
how you falsely accuse? You said falsely accuse people, or
right? So like every load of laundry, every switch, I'm like, no, it's this person. No, it's this. But you guys don't do that.
Wait, hold on.
You don't like put that off on people. It's like it's him.
You are
it's not him.
The series did the exact same thing to me and my friends who watched it over the weekend. We kept saying so and so is the monster. No, so and so is the one controlling the monster.
I got half of it right. I thought it was the two women. I thought it was a psychiatrist. This is a spoiler. Okay. This is a spoiler. Turn it off. I thought it was the psychiatrist, and then I thought it was the dead mother. And then I was like, wait, the boyfriend's suspicious.
Yeah, I mean, they're all so suspicious.
Yeah, there was. So I had like 4 people I was like going in between. And I'm like, I only got it half right, and I only guessed who it really was the episode before it showed it.
Right.
Normally I do it a lot earlier, so I enjoyed this.
So here's the thing. I thought it was the different people along the way too. However, in the series, she actually confronts the people, calls the police, and goes, "This person is a murderer," and she would turn out to be wrong. And so I would say that's the ultimate sign she's not a Mary Sue, because she's messing up people's lives.
Oh yeah, she's messing up. She's judgmental. She's not apologetic about it.
Yeah. Hello, Demon Omega. Spoilers are over, guys. And then also, Angeline says Portuguese man of war, referring to what Nigel said. That's a type of jellyfish that has a horrible sting.
Yeah,
like it will. It's not just like a Coney Island. On Coney Island, there were jellyfish and they kind of sting. No, a man of war will like put you in the hospital.
Right. I think I drew one. Hold on.
They hit all the words to please the woke. This is a toxic demise, feminist wet dream. I don't know, man. I don't really see it as too hyper feminist just because it's a female main character. Not only that, she's so anti-love. She's so anti-love. She tries so hard not to fall in love, right? And she
finds the whole thing disgusting. I find it disgusting with myself.
Love?
Maybe it's because I know I make the wrong choice, so it's like, I probably shouldn't. But I love watching other people do it. And it's like, you can make that mistake. I'll just watch you enjoy the process.
Right, but she
Thanos.
gave in, right? Oh, what is, I
Oh,
can't see it. It's too close.
it's a man of war.
Oh, I love that drawing.
I'm not finished shading.
I love it.
Got to add more shade.
And Nigel says, "I freaking love spoilers. I'm going to start the Netflix series right after Mantis." Okay, well we'll try to keep it on the low.
See, me and Nigel, everyone's like, "Don't tell me spoilers, man." I'm like, "Tell me all the spoilers."
Logan says, "I was
love
told on
spoilers.
Wednesday after the piranhas. The piranha scene was so great. And that's not a spoiler, guys, because that happens right in the beginning."
Yes.
And so Angel Age says, "Oh, I'm interested. What would your series be, Nigel?" I guess the teacher and I just said whoever the white people are, they're the villains. Only white people are bad in these shows. Well, there's a weird article has come out about like, so when Wednesday first gets to her new school, the bullies are all people of color. And so people pointed this out, and like I don't it's like weird that there's a group of people out in the world who are just obsessed with race. Because I didn't perceive it as
I didn't look at it that way.
The brown kids are teasing the white girl. I
Yeah, I
saw
did
it
see
as just some students messing with the new weirdo, the new goth girl.
Well, of course, that's what they do. Hell, I have people that try to mess with me all the time. I'm like, oh, fun. Let's start.
Right, and I'm not trying to say I'm colorblind or anything. I just think that, like, yeah, they're bullies who happen to be black. Their ringleader is black.
Yeah, and then there becomes it, and it's shown that it's out of like jealousy. First, it's out of having her position threatened, which a lot of people who have fought for that position do. They get threatened, and then it shows it's out of jealousy, and then later on they have respect for each other.
Yeah. Oh, right, of course. That's the old Gilgamesh and Enkidu thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've had that trope happen a few. Trope, Jesus, repeating the same words over and over. I've had that situation happen to me multiple times.
Right.
Jeez, there's even one person next to me, and he thought that one of my friends. I hated being touched in high school. Not much for hugs. Still am not.
You're not a hugger?
No.
Okay.
No,
I not to touch you when we meet up.
I don't like it. It makes my skin crawl. It makes me like very hyper aware of my like anything that touches my skin and who it is, and makes me awkward. I don't like it. Don't hug me.
Maybe Wednesday is the story of you.
It's no, I actually had a fantastic well, no, she had fantastic parents too. Mine are dead though.
Right.
So I digress. And so like in high school, I had this friend, she's like, no one touches her, but she allows me to. So she's like handsy. I'm like, I'm eating food, stop. And then this guy sitting next to me, he's like, well, I can do it too. Grabs and ropes me, instantly fling his hand up and hit him in the nose twice. Got a bloody nose. He told me to stop. He said sorry. I didn't get in trouble with the office. That was like, those were other fights. But he apologized. He bought me lunch. He was actually really nice after that.
And you guys dated after that, didn't you?
No.
Oh. Well, okay. I was rooting for romance there.
No, I dated twice in high school. Both were mistakes.
Oh my God. Nigel says, I just got done with the HBO Max, a mega binge. And we're going to do the same with Netflix, starting with Wednesday, then Troll, the Norwegian. I hear Troll is very good. Wednesday is such a feminist. She's going to end up alone, like they say in the show, like every other. She's not. She's not. I think this is different. This is like, because here's what I'm saying. Look, let's because the ultimate Mary Sue, feminist Mary Sue, I would have to say, is Rey from the new Star Wars movies, right? And so Rey from the new Star Wars movies is like, not old. Here's what it is. She wants to have an affair with Adam Driver, Kylo Ren, but she doesn't because she's too perfect to give in to such a mortal desire. Right? However, this is not what this is very different for Wednesday wants to not give in, but she does give in because she does care about people and she does care about human interaction. Whoa. Okay, we got a little disconnect over there, a little technical difficulties coming off of Kat's. So hopefully we'll have Kat back in here any minute now. But let's see what else is going on in our chat. Angel H says, I love watching and reading about love, but going for it myself, no thanks. I feel that this is I will say this, and this is going to make me seem like a real dick. I believe the not going for love thing is, I think it's the lie of feminism. No, here's what it is. The lie of extreme feminism taught to young girls, that they're like, don't give in to boys. You're stronger than that. You're going to be your own person. And I think that is very often easier said than done. And you are kind of like putting people up to this. Hello, Kat? Kat, you there?
Maybe.
Oh, you sound far away. Will you check your settings? Maybe your mic. I think when you reset, it didn't acknowledge the correct mic.
Can you hear me well?
You are so low right now. I could. Logan says that never occurred to me at all. And considering the POC girls at the top of the class, once again, I would say that like I didn't see it as like a thing. But it's so crazy that I don't know. I forget who said it. Somebody wrote an article about how Wednesday's racist because the bully is a person of color, and I'm like, yeah, black girl.
Is it better?
Yeah, there you go. You're back. How are you?
There it is.
Nigel says, what's wrong with that? When I got bullied at school, they were all people of color. It's what happens in real life. It's not woke. It's real. Yeah. Both those kids have so yes, they have redemption. Yes, it's true. They have redemptions. Lainey says, I got half of it right, but I was shocked at who it really was. It was fun. It was fun watching Wednesday be wrong. It was really fun watching her be wrong. There you are. You're back. Welcome back.
One of my USB ports decided to just take a shit.
I hate it when my USB ports are dropping deuces in the middle of the stream.
How inconsiderate.
What pricks. Logie Rare says Harley Quinn is feminist. Absolutely. It's super feminist.
So define feminist.
So here's what I'm saying. The actual textbook definition of feminist is just anyone who believes that a woman should be treated the same as a man. And I would say I fall into that category. That's what a feminist is.
Equality.
So what I have an issue with, and this is breaking down into sociology and stuff, fourth wave feminism. Right? So fourth wave feminism is revenge against men and treating men as their oppressors who have held you down for a while.
Oh, that's not
feminism. New age of feminism is.
Oh, that's not feminism.
Yeah, that's
feminism is from what I see, equality. Feminism is just wanting equality. People can have their own agenda and put another face on it, saying this is because of feminism. No, you're an extremist.
Yes.
And if you push any sort of thing, an extremist comes in every single color, shape, and size.
Yes, absolutely.
So there's people who are extremists in every single topic, aspect, everything in life. So there's nothing wrong with feminism. There's something wrong with people that hide behind the name and do things in vain. You know?
Yeah, and so I like to point out that I would say fourth wave feminism is what when people are complaining about feminism nowadays, they're talking about fourth wave. And so first wave was just women wanting to be equal, right? Mm-hmm. Second wave was women who wanted to have sexual and reproductive rights. They were like, I can have sex with who I want, I can marry who I want, and I can have a child if I want, right?
Which men have had.
Right. Yeah, that's
their abilities,
and then third wave was we want to be in the workplace. We want to play as hard as men and work as hard as men and have be executives in companies, and we want to go back to work. And so that was accepted. And then fourth wave, which is like the newest one that started like in they estimate around 2010, is just this hostility toward males.
Oh, it's spiteful women, which you know what they say. hell hath no fury. The only the only thing is there's people everywhere that will take anything too far and hide behind a title saying that it's because of this. No. If you're going to treat anyone that unequally, it's a problem with you.
Well, right.
So there's
Grace,
nothing wrong with feminism. Absolutely not. It's a
no, I'd say like
beautiful thing to want equality and stand up for yourself and others.
basic feminine. Yeah.
But anyone that pushes any sort of agenda or idea on someone else, trying to make them fit into what you want, that's, no. That's
Right.
not feminism. That's extremism. Just behind a title that's
We live in an age of extremes. It's not just feminism that's having a problem. It's a lot of different. I was just commenting about how the French president is visiting America, and
is
it was on a talk
visiting
show
here?
this morning. Yeah,
Why?
he's visiting.
Don't
I don't know.
come.
So he was on an interview and they kept trying to make him say extreme what his true opinions of Donald Trump were, what his true opinions of Putin were, and they're trying to get him to say all these things. They're trying to egg him on, and he stayed neutral the entire time. He wasn't trying to insult anybody.
Switzerland.
And I was like, that's very redeemable. But in America, we live in all these extremes where all these different causes you have to
Very much so.
Everything's fighting words, everything's retaliation.
Everything. God, someone looks at my face and they're like, you know what? I don't like you, and it's like, you don't have to.
And Nigel missed you when you vanished back there.
Nigel? Who's Nigel?
Nigel's been in the thing. He was the one who's talking about the Man of Wars.
Oh, well, I missed you too.
Logie says I haven't had any political vibes from the show at all. I agree. I'm not feeling that, and I feel like I can kind of sense. Obviously, it's personal.
It's not. There's nothing political about it. I think maybe that's why I like it so much. There's many reasons why I like it.
I just like monsters. I like creepiness. I like all the finding out the kids' abilities.
Yeah, and I was showing someone this, and they're like, "Why does everything that you watch be based in high school?" I'm like, "Oh, no, stop it, stop it."
Oh, Matt says that it was that piece of trash, Mary Sue, that wrote that article. So yeah, there's a feminist nerd. There's a feminist nerd publication called the Mary Sue, and they're the ones who wrote Wednesday is racist because the person who bullied her, the ringleader, is a black girl.
How dare I not particularly like someone that treats me like shit despite what they look like?
And so, I mean, what are they trying to say? That you can't cast black people as villains or bad?
And that's the thing. There's tiptoeing around everything. Honestly, just treat everyone equally.
Right.
Treat absolutely everyone equally. Do not look through a biased lens. Okay? Keep your biases in the past. Don't make it a part of you and your opinions. And when you completely extract that out of your life and you're like, yeah, I don't want it around me. I don't want it near me. I will support anyone that fights against that cause. But just don't. If someone of any color, hair color, I'm going to go with hair color. We're going to go with hair color. If someone came up to me and there's only 3 people in school and they have purple hair and one of them's mean to me, guess what? I don't care about the hair. I care how she treats me.
I mean, yeah. And then obviously there are some purple-haired people who are horrible, and there are some that are lovely.
Yeah, and there will be people who will be like, well, there's only three people. They've gone through things. Why are you upset with them because they're upset with you? It's because it's like I have nothing. I don't know about their past. I don't hold that against them. I had nothing against this person. And with Wednesday Addams, was like, she mattered just as much to me yesterday, as she did before I even met her. I don't care. It's when you treat me bad, it's like, yeah, I don't like you.
Yeah, and I honestly think that Wednesday is a really pleasant. It's funny for someone who's so bitter. She's a very pleasant protagonist, right?
Yes. They're both minorities. Why they try making it about race?
Because people, there's an agenda to make everything about race. There are just some people who make everything about race, or some power dynamic, or they want to call someone sexist. Someone's a misogynist. Like in the story, if the main character was a male and then the villain was a female, they would say that's sexist or something. You know what I mean?
And I can't even put it in really good words, so don't take what I say to heart, because my vocal ability is solely in the sound, not what I say. But there is nothing racist about the show at all. Okay,
I would say, yeah, I would say.
absolutely not. And for people that have to include it in things because they have an issue with racism, which racism is absolutely disgusting. It needs to be abolished. I hate bigoted people.
There's no cure for racism.
No. Well,
There'll never be a cure for racism. There'll never be a cure for sexism.
there's cures for racism.
Well, what's that?
It depends on who you ask.
You had some evil smirk on your face. I'm like, oh gosh.
Well, I was going through ideas.
Oh god.
So I mean, there's plenty of cures, and there's people who think like humans getting rid of us as a race would be a cure. So
you're thinking all humans would be the cure? Is that your cure?
hey, honestly, you want to go down to the root of the problem? It's humans. We're everything that's wrong with the world. Get rid of us.
But we are the world.
No, we're not the world. We're the center of our own worlds. We're not the world. We just live on it, and we're ruining it.
No, but whose perspective is better? Would you say that what the ants feel about the earth is more important than what's your?
They don't care about racism.
That you know, as far as you know, for all you know, they have a caste system, don't they? Ants.
They're territorial.
All animals are brutal and savage, and they do horrible things to one another. And
Yeah, but they're not going to be like,
bees
hey,
have
you
caste.
as a lion should not mess with that hyena. Why? Because we're both predators, and they have their own area, and they're a minority, and their skin color, and why would you eat that person? You're a horrible, or that fucking gazelle. It's brown. Why would you do that? You're a horrible lion. Your morals are nothing. So it's
okay. We just heard a poem from Auntie Kat about what it's like to be a gazelle.
My analogies suck. Like I said, don't listen to me. But no, they're not like the lions and hippos and sharks and ants. They're not going on about politics and race and
I'm telling
causing
you,
nuclear wars.
They definitely have politics. Animals absolutely have politics.
Politics wouldn't exist if we didn't make a word for it and
Yeah,
put it in the light that it is.
We're using our words to describe a phenomenon, but trust me, that phenomenon exists there. In the world of the monkeys, people side with one monkey over another alpha monkey, and then the followers of the alpha monkey kill the followers of the other monkey, and that's actually true. And so all of these things happen. Dolphins have war, and they abduct the women from other tribes of dolphins. Like this is stuff that happens in the wild. The world is any living creature is a loose ass monster. Maybe that's what the show was getting at. We're all monsters.
Well, we absolutely are. Just different.
Do you see what I did there?
I see. I see.
Lady says, love sucks. Yes, it
love
does.
suck. Don't know. Well,
feminist is different for each person. For everyone has a different perspective on the matter. Absolutely. Matt Cat says this show is contractually obligated to wokeness and interjections of buzzwords and concepts such as appropriation, patriarchy, marginalized conversion therapy. I think, or are they using those words in it just to be hip and modern?
This is sad, but especially even high school, everyone is, what did Matt not like? Woke. Everyone is woke. We have the internet. Everyone shares everything, experiences, people's opinions. Oh my God, people's opinions are everywhere. Well, so all of these.
That is the worst, isn't it?
Some of them. Pretty bad. Well, so all of these, you constantly have access to all this information. Did you know this is honestly like the most peaceful time period that humanity has ever had? It
Right?
doesn't feel like it because you get to
Doesn't it
see
not
all of
feel like
it.
it? You feel anxious every day. I have nightmares about the nuclear war.
It's
Like
because
that.
you get to see all of it. We have all this education. We're actually trying to at least form a better humanity. After seeing all this, we're developing like-minded morals. We're seeing it's like, hey, what you're doing is bad. Can you not? And so it's this stuff. It might be in the show, but it's everywhere. It's we've been surrounded by it. People are just showing light to it.
I agree. I don't think that it was the writers set out to do that. What I think they were actually accurately writing is how Gen Zers are. Because Gen Zers are woke. Gen Zers use words like toxic masculinity, appropriation, patriarchy, marginalized. They are the ones who bring that up. They're obsessed with that. And so if they're showing a show about Gen Zers, I think they accurately depicted them.
Dude, discrimination. That is our history. Bigotry. There's gonna be bigots everywhere, no matter the time period. Toxic masculinity, there anything can be toxic. Like I said before, there's nothing wrong with feminism. There's something wrong with extremists. There's nothing wrong with
Right.
people's beliefs. There's something wrong with people who are extremely religious and pushing that onto others that do not want it.
Right.
You know, it's I will fight for your beliefs. Do not push them on me.
I agree. I absolutely agree. Nigel Trotter says at least it's fourth wave feminism. The fifth wave is when the aliens attack. At least that's what Chloe Grace Moretz says.
Next year, right? I'm looking forward to it.
Oh. The aliens are coming.
Next year, apparently they're going to come and they're hostile.
Are they hostile?
Yeah, apparently it's not going to be a very good interaction.
I'm gonna be I'm gonna see them. I'm gonna be like, blammo, what up?
What?
Trotter says, I'm just disappointed she lost the sword match. As awesome as Gomez and Morticia are, how could they ever lose?
Well, they made her not immortal, like we said before, and I really like that. It kind of threw me back. It's like, that's not how I think of Wednesday Addams. And then she showed herself as like, I'm not what anyone thinks I am myself, and oh well.
Right. Random, did you hear a Brad William Haneke, actor in Orange is the New Black and Justified, died? Oh, I did not know that.
Oh,
Everything's going on about the chick from Fleetwood Mac. That's all they're talking about. A member of Fleetwood Mac died. I forget her name.
Oh,
Netflix contractually forces showmakers to incorporate all of their shows with their agenda and the message. Oh, I didn't know that, actually. Thank you for enlightening me on that, Matt Cat. So that's what he means by they were contractually obligated. It's a fact that Netflix wanted it. It didn't feel that way. That's what it is. And like, even if it behind the scenes, it was forced on them, it doesn't feel forced. And I felt it was very natural Gen X, the way Gen Xers are, right?
You know what I liked about it? There was absolutely no racism in the show. This sounds bad, but no, everyone just existed and it didn't matter what they looked like.
Although, in a situation like that, there would be, right? If I had to go to
school. No, it's everywhere. I live in a tiny hick town. Are you kidding me? We have Confederate flags flying behind giant pillars of black smoke-filled trucks.
I meant if you were a creature of the night and you had to go to school with different types of creatures of the night, you would insult them behind their back. Like if we were vampires and we watched
clicks everywhere,
werewolves, we would call the werewolves flea bags.
There's clicks everywhere. Yeah, everyone has their own, social, preferred setting.
Yeah.
There's lots of people where they just didn't like the way I look, and I thought they were too neon or bright or sparkly. And it's like, I'm going to kind of keep my distance.
Well, that's how our minds work, though. Our minds generalize. That's what humans' minds, they generalize, but it's really for the purposes of survival. Generalization helps us.
And the thing is, I have nothing against looks. Some of my best friends, or some of the most important people in my family, very bright, very neon, very sparkly, very peppy, but I like who they are as a person, and so I keep them around for that.
I can't stand ugly people. I just can't. I can't get down with it.
Oh, fuck.
So, in terms of looks, that's the thing I am a bigot about.
Are you? Wait, really? You're serious?
Well, I'm saying like if someone's really ugly, I don't know if I can really hang out with them. And
Oh.
and, and this is I don't put weight in that category. Not weight isn't a problem for me either. It's looks. Like, have you ever seen The Sopranos?
See, mine's hygiene, not looks. I don't care about looks. I don't
Well,
care
have
what
you
you
seen
look
The
like.
Sopranos?
If anything, I love scars, and if I see less of your face, the better. So I don't care.
Well, scars are cool, but I'm saying, have you seen This is my example. You seen the show The Sopranos?
No.
The teenage daughter, has a friend, like a best friend, and this girl is busted. This girl is really ugly. I'm like, how did she get in front of a camera? I think they're trying to have her have an ugly best friend, but when I see this girl, I'm like, I'm so disgusted. I was like, I couldn't have a conversation with this girl.
What do you mean? Actors, they need actors that look like absolutely anything because then
Yeah.
it's, more real. Sopranos.
Yeah, I forgot what her friends. I'll send you a pic at some point. But it's funny that we're on this while Nigel says no cure for racism. Come on, man, just what caliber gun you got? It's always a cure. That's really what
I told you. Depends on who you ask.
Yeah, when I meant like cure. You guys are talking about the solution, which is a different
Well, you're true. See, my thing was like just there's a hot needle that could be carefully placed behind the eye.
And
or like a good section of the brain in the front
right,
of the lobe.
Lobotomize them,
Just-
right?
They're happy.
Matt says, F those ants. Yes, absolutely. Screw those ants. The ants are the problem, not the humans. Gray says, one time after a snowstorm, I was feeding the neighborhood cats who hadn't eaten in a few days, and a raccoon came up, waited politely to eat after the cats, and even washed its paws in the snow.
Aw.
That's so sweet. Gray ended up feeding that raccoon.
You're all wrong. Love is awesome. You guys need to find love. I'm married, and I think love's the best. Oh, love is amazing. It's just my experiences. So I stay. Okay, let me make something very clear. I know I have bad judgment when it comes to that, so I'm gonna, kind of keep it from a distance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's where you're ending it. Okay.
Yeah. I'll leave it at that. I know I have bad judgment. Not all the time, just most of it. So I'm gonna take my odds, and I love love, and I love watching people in love, but it's not something I'm constantly going to look out for my life. I'm very satisfied with the people in my life where I'm at right now, and if they leave, then I'll be fantastically alone. I mean, win-win.
Right. So I always wanted a family. That wasn't in God's plan for me. And so I'm at the point where I'm thinking, I'm probably never going to get married. I'm probably never going to have kids. I'm probably going to die alone. I've just accepted that at this point,
Oh.
Yeah.
If you want a family, there's plenty of homeless kids you can kind of recruit and
I don't want the cast-offs. I want to have my own kids.
The cat, cast off? No, they need support. They'll take you as family. They'll get your back.
No, I know. I'm kidding, of course. I'm pretending to be a bigger dick than I am. I wish I was that strong. No, I know. There's always some way to show love or give love to other life forms, but I
love love. I absolutely love love. And there's so many people. I'm like, what? You love people so easily. I'm like, you hate people so easily. So what? I give everyone the benefit of the doubt, I believe it or not, I'm nice to everyone. And people are like, why? And I'm like, because I can be.
That's so sweet. Matt says woke is a state of awareness only achieved by those dumb enough to find injustice in everything except their own behavior. Matt, I love that definition. If you could send that to me in my DMs, I would love that because I want to frame that or quote you.
Isn't woke when you do you're looking for things and you heal from the inside first? So doesn't it start with you and then it goes out?
Well, we're saying he's saying woke has been perverted. Like the concept like 10 years ago, woke didn't mean what it means now. Woke is like what we're talking about when people look for they look at a show like Wednesday and they go, it's racist. That's
I just call them problematic. That's all. It has nothing to do with being woke. Like I said, people hiding behind titles.
Angel Anxious, honestly speaking, I'm not sure where I would fit on the edge between millennials and Gen Z. I act differently compared to them both. Yes. So I'm either I'm either the youngest Gen Zer or the oldest millennial. I'm not sure. I've gone to different websites and when they say when you were supposed to be born and they have different years, they're like slightly off. And so I'm somewhere between that. I certainly don't think like a Gen Zer.
But isn't it like no, not Gen Z. You'd be like young Gen X because
not Gen Z, not Gen Z, Gen X. Yes, Gen X.
Gen X, yeah, because
Gen
I'm like, you're a
Xers do
young
not.
Gen Z?
Yes, I'm like the youngest Gen Xer to the point where other Gen Xers are like, they're like, you remember Kurt Cobain? I'm like, not really. Sort of, like.
See, I'm a millennial. I'm a millennial and an enemy.
Matt says, okay, now that I've shit on this show, let me tell you things I did like. The production was fantastic, the acting was on point, and the CGI was good for a show. I agree with that.
Yes, they did great. I thought it was done very well.
I really like the costumes. I really like the set of Nevermore Academy. Very cool.
I wish I could relate to it more. I think that's one thing that I really did not like about it. But that's also something personal, and I'm not going to apply to the show.
The Nevermore Academy, you didn't like it?
I wish it wasn't high school based. I wish it was adult Wednesday in like a work environment. I can personally relate to that. I'm not in high school.
So you don't have fun. You know why they set so many things in high school? It's not always for high schoolers. It's because people have fond memories of high school. No?
No, high school was decent. Elementary school, decent. Afterwards, decent. It's all the same.
And that's who do you think the stalker is from the last scene? Do you think it's someone we saw in the show, or they won't get to introduce until season 2? I think it's going to be the new villain for season 2.
Stalkers. We could do a whole stream of stalkers. Oh, I have stories.
Oh, yeah, you've been stalked a lot?
Even on Spoon. There was a few months when I got off Spoon and it kind of broke my habit with it. It was due to a stalker.
Oh my God, that's horrible. I'm sorry that people ever have to be made to feel that way. It's just insane.
They found the town I lived in.
I mean, where did you meet them from? Spoon. You met them on Spoon, didn't you?
Spoon. Yeah. They found the town and they were messaging me, and
What is this filled with stalkers?
Oh yes, it was fun.
Matt says, Mantis, you still got time to get married and have a family. Keep trying, buddy.
Yeah,
thank you.
Absolutely,
it's true. And honestly, I'm pretending to be a curmudgeon. In truth, I'm not going to give up on love. I haven't really given up on love.
She should have snitched on the Warriors. That's the problem, Kat. Can't find love with that radio show. Oh,
you can't. Your homework is you have to watch the Warriors.
I have to now.
Nigel says Nevermore, like Poe. Oh, I love it. Yes. So Edgar Allan Poe is a graduate of the school, and supposedly that's where he got the Nevermore from that poem. For that poem is from the name of his school, the Nevermore Academy. And so he's their most famous graduate, and there's like a statue of him in the courtyard at the school. It's pretty cool. It's basically a school for goths, and I think that's such a cute concept.
And I love it because there's no section or clique for witches. The people that have prophecies and telekinetic powers, they're the weirdos amongst the more common monsters.
So here's what I'm saying. I would put the kid who could control artwork and make it real. I'd say he's a conjurer, and I would say the kid who controls the bees is definitely some sort of animal druid. So I would put them in the family.
Druid, a warlock, yes.
Yeah, they're like definitely in. I think they were the witch family or whatever. It's not explicitly said, right? But the kid who controls bees, that's definitely some sort of that's magical shit right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I love how like the magical beings are kind of the outcasts.
Yes.
The creatures are the main cliques.
Everyone wants to be down with the vampires and stuff. So out of the Gorgons, vampires, sirens, and werewolves, what were your favorite at the Nevermore? So I hated the sirens. I really hated the sirens. I think I was supposed to hate
against your will. I'm actually not for, so I'm not much for the sirens. People will be like, "Oh, I'd love to seduce people." It's like, no, like she said, you never know if people actually really like you.
So here's what I got to say though about that, and this is my own personal take about it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if someone really likes you. We're always here's what it is in our lives as humans, just like Wednesday in the show. We're always worried. We always have this fear, like, do they like me? Do I fit in? It doesn't fucking matter. What
It's
matters to me more is that even if I fake fit in, they have to be respectful to my face, and they're like, "Hey, what's up, Mantis? Would you like to join us for lunch?" That's what I want to see, but I don't really care what they really think of me.
okay. So what you like is respect. Everyone likes respect. What I personally would love is a deep, genuine connection with someone. And you can't have that when they only take you face value.
Okay, so that I feel like you're talking about like a best friend or a lover, which that might be different. I think in general, because I think Wednesday was talking about general school, your classmates.
She doesn't care about things that are temporary, and she finds that friends and like that in school settings are temporary. But she genuinely cares for people she's close to. So she doesn't like that stuff. She only wants deep connection. Did you know that a lot of people actually related her to being autistic? Like,
oh, really?
You didn't hear that?
No,
She fits the 5 basic requirements to be autistic. And so everyone's obsessed with Wednesday. They love her dance, they love how she acts, and then autistic people are like, we've been acting like that and you don't like it. And then when they started saying that, people are like, wait a second, she fits in that criteria.
Right.
They're saying that Wednesday Adam is autistic.
I mean, I can see that. I can absolutely see that. Wow.
Being blunt, not caring what others think, having hyperfixations.
Right, her own social cues or whatever. Never blinking, obviously.
Never
Definitely
blink.
be a spectrum.
That's more of like a post-mortem thing, but
So Kat brought up Spoon. Did she ever meet the fat girl in there? Yes, the girl. I hate that we refer to her as the fat girl. Let's say
the fat girl?
It's fat was one of her characteristics. There was somebody who was, I would say, was a narcissist who kind of drove me nuts on Spoon. And you do know this person. I talked about it on stream once, and I don't want to talk smack like that and like say their name. You know what I mean? But they would used to drive me nuts. Yeah, no, you're not going to get it from just hearing fat girl.
Yeah, I'm like, we didn't really. What I liked about Spoon is we focused on audio, quality, and content. It wasn't.
So the thing that I'm talking about is a person who used to come into VCs. They used to come into Derek's VC and Melissa Dark's VC and my VC parties when we would hang out, and camera on and create drama and just constantly create drama, make everything about them, and they just suck the air out of the room.
See, the only fat person I know is the person that put fat in their name.
That's me.
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, besides you,
there's another fat.
Yeah, it was like a DJ one, and I think she had like fat in her name or something like that.
But yeah, don't worry. We'll talk later. Man, I got to watch this show, but man, just keep coming out with these cool episodes, and I got to see them because they're always interesting. Thank you, Nigel. I love talking about what the common fun trend is, like in terms of entertainment.
Right.
I think we're gonna have a slow December in terms of new content. But I will do things like, for instance, next week I got Bellboy on, and we're going to be doing anime archives, and we're going to be talking about Erased. And I think I'll get him to talk about Chainsaw Man, too, a little.
I like Chainsaw Man. I'm seeing people like make ornaments around him.
Oh, he's a great character design, I think. Nigel says, you're a guy. Of course you hate the sirens. Yes, exactly. Who is your favorite character from the show, and who is your least favorite? Okay, so I gotta say, everyone's annoyed by her, but I like spunky, colorful people. So I liked Wednesday's roommate. I forgot her name, but like, what was her name?
I have no idea. I'm awful with names. Why would you ask me?
But I actually like that when people are bubbly and colorful, like to the extreme. You know what I mean? Like.
Right.
So she might have been one of my favorites.
I did like her too, because I'm actually by my like in my own setting. I prefer the dark and macabre. I love being surrounded by it. I'm actually a very happy person. So
I have noticed that about you.
yeah, I'm a very happy person. I love doing things, and I'm a social butterfly. When my battery is full, when it's empty, I'm gonna be home.
Yo, Matt, who are your answers to these? Like, what group would you fit in with?
I'm both. So I love the ones that are spunky, and I love the ones that like show themselves. And hippies, hippies are interesting. I love them. So colorful.
Yeah, but you just said you didn't like bad hygiene, and hippies tend to be dirty.
Oh, it depends on who you like. What hippies have you met?
Are you kidding me? They never shower. They're all dirty. They got the dirty clothes. I don't need that hippie shit.
I lived in a bus for a few years, so
What, at a penal colony? What do you lived on a bus
yeah, I lived on a bus
with
on
other
a
passengers?
20-acre farm.
Your house was a bus.
Yeah, yep.
Holy cow, that's cool.
So
You're like, it's not as cool as it sounds.
no, it's not.
Okay,
It's
right.
it's easier and harder all in this.
I think I like it in
differently.
concept because it's so out of there, but I probably wouldn't want to live on.
It was beautiful. We were outside most of the time, but I knew lots of people who also had buses because we were trying to get advice on how to like fix things up, and it was around that area. And there, when you're surrounded by certain things, people are attracted to that. So I got to meet lots of interesting people. I don't think I've met very many like. Comparatively, I've met just as many dirty hippies as I have met many dirty jocks or dirty anything else. It depends on the person, not really like what they prefer. Actually, like patchouli, that's something that I could like characterize them with. They smell like patchouli and incense and like essential oils. So
Yeah, I feel you.
I don't picture them dirty. I actually picture them like covered in like dusts and like scents, tons of different scents. They smell very
Right,
strong of
but
like
they like to
tons of
sit
different
out in
things.
the grass and not shower and be natural.
Maybe like with the shaving thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's all. I mean, we that's a conversation for another time. Nigel says, "But is Wednesday's dance better than Megan's dance?" We all saw the Megan trailer. Megan got moved. Did you see the Megan trailer?
Mm-mm.
It's a little girl robot who's best. Like she's a doll.
Yes, the
doll,
TikTok dance.
and she does the crazy dance. Like
I was thinking about that. I'm like, oh, I love how they made a TikTok dance menacing.
yes.
For them to the talent, for them to be able to do that.
So here's what is speaking of the autism. I would say another thing that might point to Wednesday having autism is the way that she danced. And what's so funny about that scene is she has no idea that she's busting a move in a way that no one else on the planet would ever dance. Like she's totally unaware of.
You've not hung out with a lot of goths, have you?
I have actually. I used to go to Oh man, I used to be a regular at this well, there was a club. The club was called Rapture, but every Thursday night was goth industrial night called, and they would rename the place Umlaut.
Umlaut.
Yes, and it was goth industrial, and I put on my black clothes and I'd go out there and dance with them. And I'm like that too. I dance like maybe not as good as Wednesday, but I dance to my own music basically.
That's awesome. See, I fit more in the category of casual goth. There's so many different kinds of goths. But I've always liked and felt comfortable in darker clothes, and I like dark makeup, but just not a lot of it. I don't like to be very loud because I'm not comfortable with that. Now, don't get me wrong, there will be days where I dress up just like anyone else, where you go a little bit extra and you feel extra confident. No, I'm a casual goth. But I have been around lots of different kinds of alts, and people who are weird and fit into the alt criteria, they dance a lot with their hands, and it's very weird and nonconformists. And so she danced very gothically, very alt,
Nonconformist dance.
very.
She did not care whether she what other people were doing around her. She didn't care what they say. It was wonderful.
She danced very, dark.
Yes, it was.
Very weird.
Dare I say, it was kind of sexy, in like a crazed way.
She made it sexy because they put it in that light. Honestly, I think people liked it so much, not only because it was weird and fun, but because they got to see the boyfriend's reaction. If he reacted differently, I feel people would have a different opinion, to be honest.
Right. I feel that.
Because they loved that he loved it, or at least I did. Because I know people that dance like that, and everyone thought they were weird, and it's kind of embarrassing. He didn't, though. He smiled. He thought it was interesting. Everyone stared. Everyone thought it was nice. If they put that dance in a judgmental, unaccepting setting, I don't think people would be obsessed with it as they are.
But I do think that no, I totally agree with you. And it was cute. And actually, that's how you know good people are when you're dancing to the beat of your own drum. You're on the dance floor, and then you see some people are like, "What's his problem?"
Yeah,
people who think it's cute are like the people, your people.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
Matt says, when looking at the previous actors and the new actors playing those characters, who do you think played their respective characters the best? For instance, Morticia, Gomez, and Fester. Oh, you mean the actors from actual Addams Family movie or the show? I thought you meant young versions. Like, I have to say, in terms of when they show the flashback of young Gomez and young Morticia, the actor who played young Gomez was spot on. He really did look like that actor as if he had been 15 and worked out.
I think they casted it fantastically.
Yeah.
They did a fantastic job. When I first saw who they cast as Wednesday, and I'm like, she's not pale enough. She's supposed to be black and white, but they did also, she is pale for her ethnicity. So as I was watching that, I'm like, okay, that's my own personal opinion because I've seen shows and I've surrounded myself with that family. So I have an idea of what she should look like. But going into the history and seeing who actually gave birth to her, she is pale for her ethnicity. So she is kind of black and white. I did not like when they're like, oh, you're in black and white. And all I can think of is like, no, she's not.
So when you see Jenna Ortega, yes, that was so cute. That was cute. Fun. That was funny.
That was cute.
He's like, you're like an Instagram filter, but alive. But I have to say, when I've seen Jenna Ortega in other things, if I'd seen her in all these other things, there's no way I would ever say we should cast her as Wednesday Addams. It was insane to me that
she did it well, and she changed my opinion with it.
And then Tyler points out that sirens kill and eat, hate and mesmerize and eat men. And yeah, absolutely. And the reason why I don't like sirens is like, I don't want a woman with the power to like mesmerize me and make me do stuff like.
Mm-hmm.
Matt says Tyler was my favorite character, and Dr. Kim. So the doctor, I hated her because she
hippies are gross. You haven't met the right hippies.
I think we have different kinds from where we are. I think that maybe
come to the Western area, I guess, because we have great hippies.
Yeah, but the hippies, I just want to be like, yo,
they don't smell like grass. They smoke it. Oh, nice.
What was your favorite episode? I really did like the dance, the ball, when they had the prom or whatever, the dance, school dance.
The one I liked was when the kid threw up on the bully.
That was good. That was a good one.
It was so gross.
There's also one when they go into the house and they get attacked, and they have, they're trying to run for their lives. That was fun, and I love it when there's action, because
I do like that one. Yeah. Actually, I like that one a lot because I love old, creepy, abandoned houses.
It's so much fun.
Go figure, right? Yeah, I would like that.
And there's something that creeps me out even more in the thing, and it's a tiny bit of a spoiler. It's like the incy-wincy spoiler. So guys, I'm gonna be quick with it. I'm about to spoil it, and I'll do a thumbs up when you can unmute. Okay, so here goes. The creepiest thing about that is it's a rundown, creepy house, and they're looking around it, and then they go to one room, and that room is perfectly clean and lived in. That would be the creepiest thing. I would lose my mind if I was like looking through an old abandoned house and found that.
No, I wouldn't. I'd be like, oh, well, someone's here. We should probably leave. I don't know
Would they
this
only
person.
clean one room? Only a psychopath would do that.
No, that's what a homeless person would do. Have you like explored abandoned places?
But that's another thing. Homeless people treat their rooms like they are homeless. Like their rooms will be dirty and messed up.
I've gone to abandoned places, and there would be. I have come across an abandoned house, missing doors, broken windows, like heavily abandoned and sort of dilapidated. And I went into one room. There was a bed. It was made. There was a shelf. It had stuff in it, and it had a stick on 2 boards that had clothes. So they treated it well with what they had.
Okay.
So if you go into an abandoned house and it has all this stuff, and if you don't know people's like why they're homeless. If there's someone who is homeless and found this perfect room and everything, wouldn't you keep it nice? Now, if you're homeless on drugs, that's different.
Well, yeah. I mean, it also depends how long you've been homeless. I think if you've really been on the streets for mad long, you might be like, "Fuck it, I only live once." And I'm
depression, like that's like a depression room. So maybe it depends on their state, their mental state. It does.
Yeah.
Just like anyone, you don't want to see my depression room.
I don't want to see anyone's depression room. I saw the worst depression room ever like fairly recently, and I was like so worried about this person. I was like, oh my god, like it was hell on earth actually.
It gets better. It's just I don't want to say it's just a phase. You know how many times I heard it's just a phase?
It can be a phase. This person went through a phase, but I went into their house and they had food like they left their dishes and Chinese, like half-eaten Chinese food all over their room. They had clothing everywhere.
Like, stop caring.
Yeah, all these soda cans, half drunken, all over the damn place, and it was like,
it's I hate the term. It's not a phase. Let me say one that's like in a better light. It too shall pass.
Right. Matt says, what was your favorite scene? I like the part where the Hyde gave his speech about liking to kill. I like that part too. That part was cool.
I did like that too, because you kind of picture him being like, I can't control it. He's like, I didn't remember it at first, and then I did, and then I liked it.
Well, here's the thing: I think that if you were some sort of creature of the night, you'd have to like it, right? Werewolves have to like eating human flesh, and vampires have to like
in their nature.
In their nature, like
he's born a Hyde.
Yeah, he loves the killing. Lainey says, not new age hippie. Oh my. Goths are great. It's those weirdo scenes that are the problem, says Nigel.
Scene kids?
Well, I gotta go, peeps. Angel Age, you have a great one. You have a great night. Thank you for stopping in.
Mwah.
I did like Ortega incorporating the dance from the little that played Wednesday in the black and white show.
She put so many different moves in that.
Yeah.
She even said that she researched Gothics, like the Gothic people.
Oh, really?
For it, yes.
Oh, that's cool.
So those moves were inspired by alt people dancing.
So yeah, Nigel says, so Gomez was done justice. Good. I already knew Wednesday was covered in Ortega. It was covered by Ortega. Was worried about Gomez. Yes. I would actually say the weakest translation, I have to say, it's not horrible, but I do think it's the weakest. Fester. I think they used Armisen is like a well-known comedian. I think they should have gotten a much weirder guy. I think of Fester is just like the weirdest.
See, I thought they did Fester well. Gomez, I thought didn't act like Gomez.
See, here's what I'm saying though. I liked young Gomez better than I liked old Gomez.
I did too.
Yeah. I was like that's maybe that's because that felt more like the Gomez that we know. Like
that's
more
the cinematic Gomez that you're used to. The actual Gomez, the one that's drawn and interpreted like how he was supposed to be when in the original comic and stuff like that. He's short and he's round
Yeah,
and
right.
he's not that pleasant looking, but he's incredibly romantic and has a lot of spontaneity and is very fun. And in this one, he showed a lot more negative emotion than the Gomez typically would because he's always happy and he's very romantic and
You know what?
Morticia is normally very, mysterious and
You know what
slow.
I really liked? I liked that old Gomez, kept calling both his wife and Wednesday. He would give them pet names, but the pet names were all morbid, weird things.
Oh, I do that all the
Like
time.
yes, my beautiful body bag, or like you know what I mean. Like he calls them
Oh,
crazy things, like
hello, my little rain
he's like
cloud.
my lovely death trap, and
I do that to people all the time.
uh,
Even especially the little ones. I am, of course, nicer about it because I love children. But I tell them all the time, it's like, oh, you little pumpkin pie, I'm just gonna take you home and bake you. You know.
Ricci will always be the queen, but Ortega was amazing. I absolutely agree. They're very different. They're very different Wednesdays.
Yes. I love that they included Ricci.
Ortega said she auditioned for Burton when she was filming X and she was wearing her gunshot prosthetics, and Burton laughed. That is hysterical. That is, I actually love hearing that. I really hope that's true. Fester sucked. Armisen was terrible in the role. Yeah, I didn't think he had encapsulated Fester, and I think they should have gotten a more like scary or weird guy to play Fester.
I thought that he was very skinny for Fester.
That's what he was. He was a little too happy-go-lucky. Armisen only has one note. He always plays.
No, Fester is happy-go-lucky. Like Fester is very happy and
But
he's
I would
into weird things.
I think the guy who played him in the movies in Family Values and like that, he's the perfect Fester in my mind. That's like I can't because he's so creepy and weird, but then he's quick to smile. Like yeah, like I just love him. I love that Fester.
I like it too. I like him too. This Fester, I did not mind him. I actually liked him.
Yeah. She says, "Oh, I love that he's so manipulative. You felt bad for him until that very moment." Oh, she's talking. I know who she's talking about. Yes, absolutely. I thought Dr. Kinbot's hobby of making stuffed dead animals was weird. Yes. That was, that's that's hobby.
Why is it weird?
Here's what it is. I think that people who aren't from the country don't understand that, which is why they were so judgmental of Dahmer when because when they watch the Dahmer docuseries, they're like, he collected roadkill and he taxidermied them, and people think that's so weird, but that's something people do.
You haven't come to the South.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I know people do that. I know people do that. But what I'm saying,
absolutely.
a lot of people not from the country are like, that's so weird.
No, are you kidding me? I just made a wind chime out of a jawbone I found while hiking.
What kind of animal, John?
I think cow. We there's lots of cows around here. They have grazing zones.
But
there's cattle guards everywhere.
Do you ever find like human bones and make them out of things?
No, those are expensive. And
you paused, which means you have
teeth.
Okay, teeth.
That's a bone, sorta.
Right.
Personally, no. Now, if I lost a finger, you bet your ass I'm crafting that into something weird. Like if I still had the bone for it, yeah, I'm preserving that. That's going in a necklace. That's gonna be on something weird. I have so many weird things that can just go in.
Oh yeah, that looks awesome. That looks absolutely awesome.
And yet I'm over here looking at a box filled with like dead bugs. I have to like frame.
Is it hard to? I know this is totally off topic. Is it hard to taxidermy bugs?
No.
Is it easier than an animal?
Depends on the bug. So if it's soft, you sometimes have to like empty it or let it dry, and then you put stuffing in it so it has the same shape, like with tarantulas or the butterflies or moths with really big abdomens,
Mhm.
but I prefer the ones with hard exoskeletons. And the thing is, if they break apart too much, you can take their parts and fashion them into something else. I have a wind chime, and I like wind chimes. I have a wind chime, and it's butterfly wings as the thing on the bottom that makes like catches the wind because I messed up the taxidermy.
Yo, did you watch, by the way, Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities on Netflix?
Nope, that's my next one.
Yes, watch it. So episode 4, called The Outside, is about taxidermy animals. And it's my favorite.
So I don't taxidermy animals. I do like, though, how the doctor was telling her, come out of your comfort zone, do things you typically wouldn't. And then shortly after, they show her doing taxidermy because that took her out of her comfort zone and helped her process something that she went through.
Right. No, I did catch that. I actually absolutely did catch that.
So it's. I mean, it sounds bad, but it's harmless.
So you guys hear that? You guys should take up taxidermy.
I mean, you can absolutely.
Nigel says in all of Nevermore, stuffed animals is the weird part. Come on now, like really? Yeah, no.
Okay.
We're going on a tour of Auntie Kat's
I guess.
Cabinet of Curiosities.
There's that one, and then this one is my to-dos.
You have a to-do pile of half taxidermied bugs.
Yeah, and there's jars of them. I have some cicadas. I have some beetles.
Mhm.
And then I have a box. Hold on. I have lots of things in here.
Jesus Christ!
I just need
I was
places to
freaked
put
out just watching it. Bugs are like another story. No, don't show me any bugs. You're about to show me some bugs, aren't you?
Yeah, if you're squeamish, don't look. Look, isn't it beautiful? So there's a pretty moth. I think it's a lantern moth.
Moths are kind of yeah.
Some dragonflies.
It looks like there's a
praying
scorpion in there.
mantis. There's a few of them. They're all over the place here in Arizona.
Do they sting?
Only if you mess with them. They're actually quite docile. It's most stings, majority of the stings happen because you step on them.
Right.
They don't attack you.
Gotcha, Mantis. It's my Netflix mega binge. Got to see Yes, check out Cabinet. It's an anthology, so not every episode is good. But when it's good, it's real good. It's scary. What did you guys think of that secret society? You think anything will? Absolutely, something will come of it because of their call sign. The secret society's call sign, which I'm not going to ruin for anyone who hasn't seen it,
Right.
but it has something directly to do with the Addams family.
I'm very proud of my bugs.
I can tell. I know what I'm probably going to get for Christmas from Auntie Kat.
Cookies.
A bug. Oh, okay. I'd prefer the cookies, but if a bug comes my way, I won't say no.
Oh, those things are so hard to mail.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I'm not much for stuffing things. This sounds so bad. I like the bug thing. I'm not gonna stuff a duck. No.
It seems like it would be easier to stuff a duck.
No. There is a process. There's cleaning. There's
right. You got to cut them out of their skin.
And you have to do it a certain way. You clean everything out, all the guts, everything.
If you even miss one drop, it'll rot wrong and be nasty.
Exactly. Bugs, they're dead. There's nothing with it. Some of them, depending on the bug, can stink. That's why they go in the container.
You know what's weird? I find that like gutting a fish or a bird is like easier to do than a cow. Like I've never had to do it. I've never had. But like I look at a cow. When I look at a cow, I'm like, I could never crush your skull and cut you up. That would be horrible. But for some reason, a bird or a fish, I'm not saying I could do it easily, but when I was in Boy Scouts, I did do it, and like it wasn't the end of the world.
Oh, I don't kill anything. I actually apologize to flies if I squish them. I don't squish them anymore though. I give them to my pet jumping spider.
I just think it's very. You have a jumping spider that's alive.
Yeah, she's adorable, very skittish, but she's so sweet.
I
Anything I
freaking hate
find,
those things, man.
anything I find is postmortem. Okay, so they've already died.
When I used to live in Virginia, the first apartment that I had was a ground level apartment, and so in the humid summers, the jumping spiders would all come into my house in my crib, and
They won't
I'd
bite
see them,
you.
and then when I would try to strike them, they'd of course jump out of the way, and I'd be follow. It would be like a comedy. I'd have like a newspaper, and I'm chasing them around, and they're just avoiding my jump. They're just jumping around.
Speaking of flies, I have one in here just asking to be fed to it.
Who do you think Xavier Thorpe's dad is? Do you think we'll see him next?
Hmm.
We will definitely. I absolutely do think that they didn't.
I really hope so.
Yeah, I bet you anything. They also have some entanglements with Morticia and Gomez. I'm pretty sure of it.
Well, yeah, they went to the same funeral.
Yeah, but I'm saying I bet you there's going to be more backstory to like some messed up thing there. Question that actually no, I can't ask that because that's going to be a spoiler. But we are looking like we're hitting the 2-hour mark. So I've had so much fun talking about the series and talking about your insect collection or dead insect collection.
I'm very proud of it. Sorry, I guess I kind of just snuck that in there.
No, that's fine. No, it's fun. It's moments like that make streams. Did you have any final thoughts? Any things you loved, you hated, or you just need to talk about in the show?
I like how a lot of people, or I like how people related to her, and I like how, honestly, the alt group is becoming normal sized. So it's becoming normal. People, and I don't like that it's becoming like fetishized. Yeah. So it's a good thing and a bad thing. I love it for certain things. I don't like people that are pushing their political agendas onto this when obviously it's not really showing any. So I see no political nothing in it.
Right, and that's weird. That's hard nowadays because a lot of things have politics shoved
But
into it.
so many people are pointing out and grabbing little things from it and causing unnecessary issue. So many articles are showing up like depicting all of these horrible atrocities that they pointed out, and
People will always look for
racism
something
and
bad nowadays. It's for clickbait, like
exactly.
all these things.
I don't like that people are trying to put this in a bad light for things that are not there. I do like, though, that it is showing other things in light. You know, it's bringing light to weird minority, the the alt
The outcast,
group,
right?
the outcasts.
Yeah,
I
no,
love that. It put it in a good light. People are actually enjoying this, and they like her weird dance. As I was watching it, I'm like, I really hope that people don't, make fun of this. No, it took off. It went in the opposite direction. I
right.
did not expect that because I'm surrounded by that. And the people, maybe it's because of where I am, but the people that see that normally hate it, make fun of it, try to squash it as much as possible. So
Matt
I
says
like
I
that.
was a Boy Scout. Also, mantis suck though. I hate nature. Trying to build a fire with testosterone and trail mix. I love nature. I actually love nature. But people find that surprising. But here's what it is: I'm a New Yorker who, for Boy Scout camping, we'd leave the city to do it. But I love nature. So I do love that stuff.
See, I live kind of in the wilderness area. You always bring a knife and a magnifying glass and a compass. Oh, and a whistle. Or a bell.
Gun.
Well, everyone here has guns, sorry. But
In the series, you know what I really loved? The werewolves.
I did too.
And what it is there's a plethora of bad werewolf, both special effects and just like attempts, particularly in movies. And when you finally get to see what their werewolves look like, I was like, I love this werewolf.
Yeah, I like that. I just got done watching Van Helsing. And all I
Oh
can
yeah,
think of is like, it's so bad.
so bad. There's so many bad attempts at werewolves. People get them
Such a
wrong.
good movie, but those were bad effects.
Yo, but there's a part where the werewolf girl, she gets stood up on a date and she's standing next to a car and she gets pissed off and her claws come out and she rips the car apart. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Her
And
colorful claws.
yeah, it was so cute. But it was cool how they choreographed that she so easily ripped apart the car with ease and finesse. And I was like,
Right.
imagine if it was like a human, they'd just be able
Hey,
to.
all those hormones,
Yes.
all
Yes.
the testosterone, estrogen from both parties, you know.
He
Hey,
says I love the
it's
Van Helsing werewolf.
yes, I do too.
Yeah.
But no, high school is a very emotional place.
Oh, and then Nigel also says before you go, don't forget to check out your cameo in The Warriors. So
Right.
that's why I think people like to set a lot of things in high school. High school kids can relate to it, but older people look back at it with fond memories. It's also a thing where everything is so dramatic.
Oh, it is.
If
Oh,
someone stands you up for a
everything in
date,
high
you flip
school,
out. You flip out, right? When you're an adult,
everything matters so much. That sounds so bad. When you're an adult, you just don't care.
Be-
But everything is so big in high school.
and they do it good in this series because she's both navigating a murder mysteries, but also which boy likes her.
Yeah.
Does she fit in? How's she doing with her roommate? That kind of stupid shit.
Mm-hmm.
Great, I loved it.
Oh, it's great.
But yo, guys,
I think they did well.
Please check out Wednesday on Netflix. Get back to us in the Discord. Let us know what you thought of it. Did you have any final? Did you want to do any shout outs or any promos?
No. If you find me, you find me. If you don't, yay.
You don't even want to put a link to your TikTok in the chat?
No, like I said, if you really want to find me, you will.
Auntie Kat, guys. That's Auntie Kat. Me Too, not as great as William from Underworld, but Van Helsing design was so great. But yes, guys, please keep tuning in to Rogue Planet every Wednesday or Thursday night. It depends. And also check it out. Fanboy Modeling School is doing a bonus episode tomorrow night just because we feel like we have to talk about Kanye West. He is off the rails.
I have no idea what's going on with that.
He was on Alex Jones today. And he
Oh.
said some crazy.
When doesn't he? I'll have to watch your show.
Yes, please tune in. We're going to talk all about it. It's going to be wonderful. Other than that, keep tuning in. Also, guys, I do brunch in the morning. Please come to brunch. That's just on Twitch, though. That's just a hangout screen. I would love to see you guys. You guys have a blessed and beautiful evening. Thanks for tuning in. And until next time, ciao for now.
Stay safe, stay sane, stay spooky.
Oh, that's good.